So basically, Satan is basically just going to come up to anyone, anytime, anywhere, somehow in your life. He's come up to me on and off over the years, back in '82, and even now. You know, 2000, I think 16 or something like that. But every time he comes up to me, always makes it look like the soul is a tiny little piece of paper. Just a tiny little, he tore a leaf off a tree once, and he just said, Rita, what would you like? What would you need if you had a choice to have anything? And I said, nothing. Why? I could give you anything you need. And then he just had the tiniest little leaf one day, and he dropped it on the ground, and he said, all I need is your soul. Look how little it is. And I said, I don't want to give up my soul. Forget it. Then he came up to me again after the tea fire in Santa Barbara, and it was at Starbucks, and it looked like our home got burnt. Everything was burnt down. It was terrible, but I wasn't living up there at the time. But I was at the coffee shop, and my brother was there, and it was my brother who made a decision, I guess, to have property and money, and so he split a pie in half, and he goes, here's your half. And I said, he goes, have a piece. And I said, what's this about? And he just said, you'll see. And then I left Starbucks, and he was out in the parking lot, and he goes, what would you like, Rita? Would you like anything at all? I'd give it to you. And I said, look, I don't want anything. If I were to want anything at all, it wouldn't be from you, but I said I would want my health. Health is vital to follow God. And then he looked up to God after I said that, and I don't know if I opened my will to the devil then or not, because boy, did I knock down after getting a job and working for like 5 years as a caregiver. And it took me a year to get back on my feet. It felt like death was on me, but Jesus showed up, and he took death off me, and I'm recovering even now. This is after a year. I was in bed, couldn't stand up, was dizzy, I couldn't even focus. It's a nightmare. That's all I can say. So be careful, even just saying something to the devil. Don't even communicate with him. Because I learned my lesson on that one. That was just like a skim of death. Oh, thank God I'm still here. But anyway, I'll never do that again. You got to be very careful around him. He gives off a very seducing kind of an atmosphere. He changes the atmosphere when he's around. Be very careful about it. There was another time, it was in my job when I was doing caregiving, and he came into my boss, and he goes, how would you like to be famous, Rita? Famous? I don't want to be famous. I'm doing my job as a caregiver. But you could be famous. You've got a good personality. People would like you. And I said, look, you're telling me that if you want me to sign a contract to Hollywood, that's my death. Because that's what it leads to. If you look at all the history of actors, horrible deaths. I mean, people died with their head being removed, other people smashed in an automobile wreck, people have overdosed, people have ended up just dying in their sleep. back and just probably want to research just the history of all the deaths of Hollywood from the very beginning when it first started. You'd be amazed how many people have died. So, I'm not a fool that way, thank God. And I just said, look, you think I'm going to sign a contract to say I want to die and be controlled and be told that I have to obey what Hollywood tells me to do? Have no more life of my own? No thank you. I said I'd rather scrub floors, clean a home, be a caregiver, assist people that need help, and even if it was only for 15 an hour. I don't care about the money. I want to be happy. I want to be at peace in my soul. Yes, I'll even work for 10 an hour. I don't care. I just want to do what's kind and loving, and I want to be able to respect human life and help human life. And that's my whole purpose of being here. I want to care and share my love and my faith of prayer and love and gratefulness to God while I'm alive. That isn't too much to ask. So, to get through all this, if Satan were to come to me or come to any of you, now I've learned more because I was so busy. I was doing 18-hour shifts. I mean, time and a half, double time. It was a lot of hours for 17 years of my life. I was working constantly and no days off, just constantly in need to different people. So, Satan comes to you and then you tell him, I do not want to. I don't want to compromise. And then he's like, oh, all right. Well, I mean, I'm hurt. I'm alone and I'm not happy and I'm depressed. He'll mimic you. He'll reflect what your soul is showing. If you're depressed, he'll be depressed with you. If you're happy, he'll be happy with you. If you need money, he'll say I need money too and I could probably help you to get some. He'll do whatever it takes to get your will to connect to him and to seduce you into connecting to him in any possible way you can. Don't do it. Trust God. I shared already that what God did for me in my car, but it's just wonderful because trusting God is the best, and it's the only way, the only truth, and the only life, and that's why Jesus says no one comes to God except through me. So Jesus is showing us every day, trust the Lord your God and him only. God loves us that much. Don't ever forget, that's why he sent his only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in him will not perish but have everlasting life. Satan is the opposite. He's the counterfeit. He's the opposite. He's a blueprint. He's the carbon copy of everything. So anyway, that's what it is. That's what it is. You got to be careful because Satan will mimic, he'll copy, he'll get you to pity him. He'll get you to he'll make you feel like if you could just give me some of your love, I need some care, I'm lonely, I'm hurt. It's your worst time, he'll show up. So be careful. And just remember, I've taught you that he's come to me, and I'm still alive. I'm still here. Thanks be to God. And Jesus came through my room, and he healed me. I was dying. I mean, nobody could help me. I must have been in and out of the urgent care 100 times. And all they did was give me antibiotics, but nobody could find out what's wrong. And I basically couldn't, my balance was affected, my breathing, my lungs, my bronchioles. It was just terrible. And they kept, x-raying me. Couldn't find anything wrong. But yet I couldn't hardly breathe. Then they thought, well, you have asthma. I never have had asthma. Never. So it was definitely a demonic attack. But like I said, he'll never tell you what he's going to do against you. Don't even talk with him or compromise in any way or say anything that isn't even feeling in yourself that you are connecting to him. Because just talking to the wrong person, and it could be the devil himself, opening your will is what he wants. He wants that will to open up. Don't. So Jesus says you've got to protect yourself, put on that armor. The helmet of salvation is very important. Of course, you gird yourself up with truth. You put the breastplate of righteousness on your chest. You shod your feet with the preparation of peace, the shield of faith round about you, the helmet of salvation, and your sword of the Spirit. There's a spiritual armor that you can actually pray on every day. And Satan can see it. And once he sees that, he backs off. So I just wanted you to know, when the devil does come to you, I would tell him now that I'm more knowledgeable. You were cast out. You were cast out of heaven. And we haven't even had a chance yet to get to know what God is like. You were with God. And God is nothing but perfectly beautiful and merciful, kind, loving, patient, gentle. I mean, the fruits of God's Spirit are absolutely amazing. And God knows everything about every single cell of your body because he created us. He created your soul as an individual. And this is what's amazing. Satan doesn't want us to get to know God at the end. He's trying to keep us away from God. Don't get near him. Don't pray. Don't worship him. Don't talk to him. Don't try to get to know Jesus and ask Jesus into your heart. Stay away from them. I mean, it's basically jealousy. He's jealous because he's been cast out. He rebelled. He wanted to come against God. And he wanted to be God. Well, if he's going to do that in the presence of pure love, he deserves his sentence. He deserves it. He deserves to be cast out of heaven. So if I ever see him, I'm going to tell him, don't even talk to me. Don't get near me. I don't want to know you. I'm sick of you. You have done nothing but try to break people apart from the